the mission of Yate is that we serve the community by offering social, cultural, and educational resources to create an inclusive environment that uplifts every person's possibilities. That's the full mission, which is a big program that I try to implement. The mission was written at the time when we campaigned, and the potential tenants and community members who were interested in the project had brainstorming sessions and discussions and came up with the mission. So the mission reflects what we want to be. It's a collaborative of nonprofits where everyone, every tenant, organization, or partner develops their own programming and offers resources and services according to their mission, and Yate is above that. So we are an umbrella for all those organizations. And the mission really represents more than the sum of the individual missions of those organizations that are tenants and are here at Yates. My role is to make sure that we keep that mission in mind when we serve the community, and we serve the community at large. We have a variety of organizations, so offering social, cultural, and educational resources. We have, for example, Metropolitan Community College. They offer adult education classes and continuing education classes. We have cultural resources offered by Great Plains Theatre Commons, Bluebird Cultural Initiative, the Neighborhood Association, and others. And then we have the social and educational aspect with all the other tenants. What I do is also I offer specific programming when I see that there is a need that is not answered. And I try to insist to get the people together, and I think I really want to create that inclusive environment, mainly in these times when we have such a divided country and people need a place where they feel safe, where they know that they will be welcome and everybody will be acknowledged and recognized, to create that environment. I have a lot of people who ask about the name. Again, like the mission, Yate Illuminates, we kept the name Yates and Illuminates because we want to be a shining place. We want to shine for the community around. Yates is the name of Mr. Yates, Henry Yates, who was a businessman and philanthropist at the end of the 19th century, early 20th. And when he passed away, his widow sold this land to the public schools under the condition that it be used for educational purposes. And the public schools built this building with the architect who is the same as Jocelyn Castle's, John MacDonald, so it has some historic value here in the neighborhood. It was an elementary school until '99. Then it closed because there were too many kids. The school was too small. It was then used for programming for migrant parents. So Omaha Public Schools was organizing English classes, GED classes, citizenship, and offering art classes, and some nonprofits were offering their resources and services here. Now, what happened is that at some point, Omaha Public Schools thought, well, the bond passed in 2016 and they had the opportunity to build a new elementary school in the neighborhood. That was a great thing for the neighborhood. What was not the great idea was that they wanted to tear down the building. That was the first campaign. The neighborhood association got together, and some people from Omaha and around got together to lobby Omaha Public Schools and to convince them that this building had to stay, not only because it was a historic building, but also for all the programming they offered. They thanks to a strong grassroots campaign, the neighborhood association managed to have Creighton University.
Creighton did sell some empty parking lot space down on 32nd and Burt, just a couple blocks away. And the new elementary school, which is now called Gifford Park Elementary, was built at 32nd and Burt. So that was a good thing. The programs and the building continued here at Yates. And then in 2019, we caught word that OPS, Omaha Public Schools, wanted to sell this building. And so we were worried they were going to sell it to a developer, they were going to tear it down. This is a historic building, like I said, built back in the early 1920s. And it's a beautiful building, built like a tank. And so that was sort of the second Save Yates campaign in 2019, 2020. And we worked with the White's Family Foundation
for the campaign, and then went to all of the school board meetings where they talked about Yates. And I was there when the iconic vote happened that sold Yates to the White's Family instead of being sold to developers. So it was kind of like a movie when it happened. You know, you had the developers, I think they were from Colorado, you had them in the room, and everybody thought it was going to be sold. And then at the last minute, there was like one board member, I forgot what her name was, but at the last minute she was like, hey, I proposition that we consider selling this building to the White's Family. And so it was just out of nowhere. Nobody expected it to happen. And then all of the board members, or most of the board members, ended up voting to sell the building. So it was pretty cool. It was like one of those movie moments where the building got saved at the last minute and we were all so happy. And we took pictures, we had a huge Save Yates banner, and then COVID hit a couple months later. It was crazy.
Which is on records. That was for me an amazing experience. Now, when the vote came and we saw that we had the majority of the board members in favor of our proposal, we didn't believe it. Because the campaign was great, but you are in a campaign mood. You put all the efforts, you try to gather people, to convince them, but then you have to deliver. So that was the real start of the work. It is, oh, we got the building, now we have to deliver.
And so we celebrated, and then we got on to get the building fixed up, restored all the beautiful windows that you see, redo the wood floors. We did all the upgrades that were necessary to be compliant with code. And so that took a couple years, but here we are. It's a beautiful space and we're still evolving.
And since the building has been sold and repurposed and renovated, the building is becoming that symbol of hope again for people. I think that it's definitely in its infancy stages right now, and there's so much potential in this building to grow it. There's so much potential with the kitchen, the podcast room, and the clothing/food closet downstairs, and just the space that we have here. And so I would love to see this place be utilized even more and more as time goes on.
It's hard to measure, obviously. First of all, in the neighborhood, we saved a building, an old building. We still have this building in the neighborhood. We started or restarted some things that we did before, but we have all those organizations who are here and have the opportunity to serve the community even more and better, because I told you we want to create synergies and collaborations. So we hope that visitors who come for one service will also learn about all the other services that are offered. We are a one-stop shop, but it's sharing the information and helping people find what they really need to be better, to improve their skills, to develop skills, to to get to know other people, and eventually, and that's not measurable, to be better citizens, to get a better job. That we will know if they come and tell us, thanks to this training, I changed job, I'm in a better position now. Now, during the campaign, people were asking us about the economic impact, because people like numbers and data. Well, we hope that people who, for example, come here to learn English will get a better job. They will be able to help their kids in school. Those kids will go to college, will get a better job, and economically it's much better for the entire society. But we cannot measure that yet. It's way too early. It's 2.5 years. We are still developing, as I said, and learning to live together and adapting programming. What we know is that when people come the first time, they don't know what they will find. Or they know, I come here to speak with this person. And then they learn about other things.
Always going to be evolving. And, there'll be tenants and organizations that, come and go. But keeping the mission of all educational and uplifting everybody's possibilities is, that's in our mission. So it's a challenge, but it creates tremendous opportunities, and we want to see where when somebody comes to Yate Illuminates and they're going to take a class, say at Metro Community College, and then they see on the bulletin board, oh, there's a play by Great Plains Theater Commons that's going to happen, later in the week, or there's a sewing class, or there's classes on English classes or other classes, cooking classes, that will get people to come back and for the organizations to mix with each other. That's what's going to be really important. So it's a challenge, but a great opportunity. And we want to see, this is for everyone. So if there's, we got a 92-year-old guy in the neighborhood that, his name is Bob Hutton. We call him the godfather of the neighborhood. We want him to come, and he has, and enjoy a play, or enjoy a meal, or enjoy game night. We have game night tomorrow night, where we're going to have great ethnic food, and we're going to have people together just to have fun. We'll have ping pong and Monopoly and chess and checkers and foosball. So the possibilities are really endless. And so that's where we encourage people to, the old saying, think outside the box, but anything is possible here.
They come and tell us, thanks to this training, I changed job, I'm in a better position now. Now, during the campaign, people were asking us about the economic impact, because people like numbers and data. Well, we hope that people who, for example, come here to learn English will get a better job. They will be able to help their kids in school. Those kids will go to college, will get a better job, and economically it's much better for the entire society. But we cannot measure that yet. It's way too early. It's 2.5 years. We are still developing, as I said, and learning to live together and adapting programming. What we know is that when people come the first time, they don't know what they will find. Or they know, I come here to speak with this person. And then they learn about other things. So they come, for example, to see a theater play, and then they learn about a science club for their kids. Or kids come for an after-school program, and they learn that their parents could learn English for free. So we are creating something, and I think the impact will be seen much later. Like when people come back to Yates and they tell me, I was here in elementary school and that was 50 years ago or more. The school made an impact. They come back, they see that it's no longer a school, but they speak about their experience. And there is one thing that we always keep in mind, is that Yates Public School, now Yate Illuminates, has something very special in the air. There is a dust of genius in this building. Few people know that 2 Nobel Prize laureates attended Yates Elementary. So, one was Lawrence Klein. He graduated from Central High School. He got a Nobel Prize in economics for forecasting economics. The other one is still alive. It's Alan Hager. He got a Nobel Prize in chemistry for inventing conductive plastics, conductive polymers. How many Nobel Prize laureates did you know are from Omaha or were in Omaha at some point and came to this school? So who is next?